than the 1000 or 750. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot. Like I said, you're going to be legal still. You're going to have a decent range, and you can get in trouble probably with that 1000 pretty quick if you're not the best rider. And another thing to think about is, you know, if you want range and stuff, 1000 watt isn't necessarily the way to go for range, because you're going to be using, well, minimum I think it's around 1000 watts, and I want to say it peaks out around 1180ish if I'm not mistaken. I don't physically think the battery can put that much out. It would be actually short of how the 500 does 750 peak. You know, 750 would do 1000 peak. You think the 1000 would be 1250, but the battery I don't think is physically capable. Even the 19.2 or that 20 amp, I don't think it is physically capable of putting that much exact power out. But you are getting bigger controller, like double the size of this one. You know, you're not on the motor as hard, but like I said, you're going to be eating battery. There's pros and cons to it all. Like I said, the 500 you're still legal. So when you think that battery or that motor is, well, it could use more power because you're getting, you know, halfway through your ride, it's your battery. It's, you know, you're losing amp hours, and that's where you gotta, that's where you'll learn to conserve, and that's where it's nicer to get the bigger battery. And you, like I said, you're gonna have nice, true, clean power for a longer duration. And 16% or whatever it is extra battery doesn't sound like much, but it is. it's about a month and a half ago or a month ago, I was going down a road, country block over or something, and there's snow coverage, and all of a sudden on the road and on the shoulders, like this is what I talk about with shoulders they have here. But anyways, so all of a sudden I just heard that I felt this bump, weird bump, and this metallic kind of clang, and then my bike kind of didn't grind to a halt, kind of came to a really loud, abrupt halt though, and I didn't have a clue what it was. It almost wiped me out, and it was a horseshoe off one of the horses, horse and buggies going down here. Must have lost it, and then they got caught up in my fender and tire in my bike. You can be so relaxed biking, and these things can happen so quick. Alright. More. So here's another thing I want to go show you guys. I don't know how good it's going to show. Can you see this edge? So what people do is they tend to ride it and they'll lean their bodies over to it, and they get caught up, and what happens is they'll suck themselves over. Don't do that, because you'll usually will get sucked into it, or if there's a level height or difference in grading to an asphalt road, that's another thing to watch for. But like any bike, it can be tricky. But I notice it with the fat tire, especially if you have your front suspension down and you have a low PSI. So when I get around this, okay, so right here, don't try and follow that through. Just torque over, pull over. Okay, again, don't try and balance it out. Just go and lean and get it over. So Another thing is, this has been freshly graded, was the other day. Now it's been pushed over from traffic. This can be extremely dangerous on them, this loose gravel. And I'll show you. I'm washing around a bit now, but so, and like even this, when this all thaws today, it'll just track you around. So again, like, I don't mind showing you guys, I'm pretty comfortable with this stuff. So these big edges, don't try and balance your body out in your shoulders and wiggle around. Just lean in and cut, and try and go on that throttle a bit, and I'll help you. Now use judging your, like, you know, on terrain, if it's icy, etc. Again, over, and you're fine. It's just balancing out what gets you in trouble, like right there. A lot of people would try and stay on that. Well, they're not trying to, they're getting kind of their body's shoving them over more. Again, guys, like, don't do this, or shouldn't really do this, but I'm just trying to show you. It's just over hard. So I'm going to be